is Mark.
My name is Susan.
I'm Zeb.
I'm Jake.
I'm Angelica.
And this is the history of the Earth.
Hey kids, today we're going to learn about the history of the Earth. Alright, so let's just go through it right here. So, theoretically you had the Hadean Eon, alright? So this is when the Earth, it was first forming. You had lots of magma, and the Earth was just a big ball basically of fire. And you had all this meteorites coming down, and it had a rock layer around the planet. This lasted about 2,000 years, leaving behind hard volatiles, which resulted heavily in carbon dioxide. Alright, and so this giant impact happens approximately 4.5 billion years ago. Alright, so we have that, and then slowly the Earth just starts becoming more habitable, and we go into the early Archean period. Here, the atmosphere started slowly coming about, mostly consisting of methane, ammonia, and other toxic gases, right? And so this is the period where you find the first signs of life emerging. This is about 3,500 million years ago, so 3.5 billion. It was very hot, so obviously we couldn't have survived on this kind of planet, and it was mostly water. You had H2O right here, and only about 93% of the Earth was covered in water, if you could imagine that. So then we go to the middle Archean, we have the Prokaryote. I don't really know how to pronounce it, I apologize. Which were the first single-celled organisms to come about, which is a very big step in life coming about on the Earth. So then we go over here to the Archean Eon, right? We're in the late Archean period now, which now you have cyanobacteria, right? Like stromatolites, which are the first more advanced signs of life that we have seen. And so now, we go to the Proterozoic. Well, the Proterozoic era is the longest era of the human species, because this is when a lot of the small organisms started becoming larger and becoming more complex, where you see you have more oxygen in the atmosphere now, so that way more things that we know today are coming about. The continental plates are very similar to what we have today here in this era. The mountains begin to increase. You have a lot more oxygen forming in the air, and then we get to the Neoproterozoic era, which is the new Proterozoic era, and then this is where stromatolites that we see earlier, they start decreasing, and oxygen levels have led, the oxygen got so high that the whole Earth freezes over and creates a snowball, so it's amazing. And then you continue continental drift, all the continents were drifting around, until then you get to the Paleozoic era, which is 570 million years ago. This is where you start to see the really amazing complex forms of life starting. Alright, you had a climate, like it started warming, the snowball effect went away, you had animal life coming about like vertebrates and fish in the oceans. It was magnificent. You had plant life, trilobites, brachiopods, and this is all known through fossils that we found, as you can see here, the beautifully drawn fossils. So we have this late Proterozoic era, then we go to the Ordovician, and the Cambrian, we have the Silurian, the Devonian. And so all these things started coming about. And then we get to the Mesozoic era, which is my favorite era of the entire project, which is the dinosaurs, which is truly amazing. We had metazoan fossils, we had early plant life that you see even today, like tree ferns, cycads, sarcoidoids, but then you had the fateful Cretaceous extinction event, and the Triassic, Jurassic extinction event, and the Permian Triassic extinction, which all basically wiped out all the dinosaurs that we know today, which is very sad. So then we get to the Cenozoic era, right? So you had all the dinosaurs wiped out, and so you had a period of long-term cooling. And then animal life, you become more diverse, like you get birds coming about. You have all these things. And this is actually the current era that we are in. We have not progressed past the Cenozoic era. And so now, we know this because we've still found metazoan fossils. We have more advanced plant life, such as savannas coming up. We have flowering plants. We have all these new animals. It's magnificent. And then we have rocks, like sedimentary rocks, which are used to find fossils. And then eventually, 1.6 million years ago, humans began to evolve, which is very cool. So that's That's the history of the Earth.